Hi everyone, welcome back. Today's video is about glycogenolysis. If you want to skip to any particular section of this video, you can do so by clicking the timestamps found in the description section below. Please also make sure to like and subscribe, as this helps us out a lot. Okay, let's get to the video. Glycogenolysis is the metabolic process by which glycogen, the stored form of glucose in the liver and skeletal muscles, is broken down to release glucose. So let's briefly go over glycogen and then explore the process of glycogenolysis. Glycogen is a large branched polysaccharide. It is made up of glucose units connected by alpha-1,4 glycosidic bonds in linear chains. However, given that this is a branched molecule, the branches are connected with an alpha-1,6 glycosidic bond. These branches are found approximately every 8 to 12 glucose residues. Due to its branched nature, glycogen forms dense spherical granules within cells. These granules are found in the cytoplasm of liver and muscle cells. These cells consist of both glycogen and enzymes needed for glycogen metabolism. The highly branched nature also allows for rapid enzymatic access to glucose at the branch points. This enables quick release of glucose when needed. Now that we know what glycogen is, let's talk about how it's broken down, which is the process of glycogenolysis. Glycogenolysis is crucial for maintaining blood glucose levels during fasting. This also provides immediate energy during physical activity. Glycogenolysis is tightly regulated and occurs in response to hormonal signals like glucagon and other energy demands of the body. Let's consider the location of glycogenolysis. Liver. Glycogenolysis in the liver helps maintain blood glucose levels. This is especially true during fasting or between meals. The glucose released enter the bloodstream to supply energy to other tissues. Skeletal muscles. In muscles, glycogenolysis provides glucose for glycolysis to generate ATP locally. This is particularly true during exercise. Muscle cells lack the enzyme glucose-6-phosphatase, and therefore, skeletal muscle cells cannot release free glucose into the bloodstream. We will be discussing this in a bit more in this video. Steps of glycogenolysis. Step 1. Phosphorylysis of glycogen. The process of glycogenolysis begins with the enzyme glycogen phosphorylase. This is the enzyme that breaks down glycogen. Glycogen phosphorylase cleaves an alpha-1,4 glycosidic bond between the glucose molecules at the non-reducing end of the glycogen polymer. This reaction uses inorganic phosphate to produce glucose-1-phosphate, also called G1P. Unlike hydrolysis, this phosphorylysis conserves energy by adding a phosphate group directly into the glucose molecule without the need for ATP. Glycogen phosphorylase works sequentially, removing glucose units until it encounters a branch point. Step 2. Resolution of glycogen branches. When glycogen phosphorylase reaches a branch point in the glycogen molecule, it cannot proceed further. At this stage, the debranching enzyme takes over. This enzyme has two distinct activities, the transferase activity and glucosidase activity. Let's consider transferase activity. The debranching enzyme removes a small segment of 3 glucose molecules from the branch and transfers them to a nearby linear chain, reattaching them via an alpha-1,4 glycosidic bond. This creates a longer linear chain for glycogen phosphorylase to continue breaking down. Now let's consider the glucosidase activity. After the transfer, the debranching enzyme hydrolyzes the single remaining glucose molecule attached via an alpha-1,6 bond at the branch point. This hydrolysis releases a free glucose molecule, although it's not phosphorylated. This dual action ensures the complete breakdown of glycogen into a linear form that can be further processed. Step number 3. Conversion of glucose-1-phosphate to glucose-6-phosphate. Glucose 1-phosphate, also called G1P, produced in step 1 cannot directly enter glycolysis or the bloodstream. It must first be converted to glucose 6-phosphate, also called G6P. This conversion is carried by the enzyme phosphoglucomutase. The enzyme contains a phosphorylated serine residue in its active site. This temporarily donates its phosphate group to G1P, forming glucose 1,6-bisphosphate as an intermediate. The enzyme then retrieves the phosphate group from the first carbon, leaving behind G6P. This reaction is reversible, and it allows glycogen synthesis, which is also called glycogenosis, to occur when needed. Please check out our video on glycogenesis to learn more about this. And finally, step 4, release of free glucose. This only occurs in the liver. In the liver, glucose 6-phosphate, also called G6P, is converted into free glucose by enzyme glucose 6-phosphatase. This enzyme removes the phosphate group from G6P, producing free glucose. Free glucose then can exit the liver via glucose transporters, for example, GLUT2, and enter the bloodstream. This step is crucial for maintaining blood glucose levels during fasting or stress. In skeletal muscles, however, this step does not occur because muscle cells lack glucose 6-phosphatase, as was mentioned before. Instead, glucose 6-phosphate enters the glycolytic pathway to generate ATP for local muscle activity. That's it for this video. I hope this video was helpful for you. If it was, please make sure to subscribe and like our channel. And also check out all of our other videos of this channel as well. See you in the next video. Bye.